That was Curve with Chinese Burn closing out tonight's show. Before we go, I'd like to tell you a little bit about an artist you should definitely check out, and his name is Robyn Hitchcock. Best known for his songs filled with dark emotion, irony, and surrealism, Robyn Hitchcock began his career in 1976 as a singer-songwriter of the Cambridge, England band The Soft Boys. And because of their love for 60s pop, like the Byrds, the Beatles, and most of all Syd Barrett's Pink Floyd, they're credited for starting a psychedelic revival while at the same time having advanced their tradition rather than just copying it. Now, with the release of their first album in 1977 titled Wading Through a Ventilator, Soft Boys set themselves apart from what anybody else was doing at the time, but they were viewed as being too middle-class and 60s-oriented to fit in with the rising punk and new wave movements in England. Although they've gotten a lot of credit since then, Circle Jerks recently covered I Want to Destroy You, and there have been numerous covers of other Soft Boys classics like Only the Stones Remain, Way, Way Up a Hole, Love Poisoning, Rock and Roll Toilet, and Give It to the Soft Boys. Now, the band split in 1981, and Hitchcock went on to record several solo records before he hooked up with former Soft Boys Morris Windsor and Andy Metcalf in 1985 to release Fegmania under the moniker Robyn Hitchcock and the Egyptians. They released their 1988 American major label debut Global Frogs, which included guitar contributions from R.E.M's Peter Buck, who also appeared with bandmate Michael Stipe on Hitchcock's 1991 solo effort Perspex Island. Hitchcock recorded 2 more albums with the Egyptians before they split in 1994, although he continues to release solo albums, the last of which was Mossy Elixir in 1996. We're going to leave you tonight with Balloon Man from the Robyn Hitchcock's and the Egyptians' 1988 album, Globe of Frogs. Anyway, I hope you like it. I'll see you next week when my guest will be Jane's Addiction. I'm Matt Pinfield for 120 Minutes. Have yourself a good night and a great week.
When we first did, when the Soft Boys or whatever got going in 76, 77, people said, God, this sounds dated, it sounds 60s orientated. And I mean, that was before, the Doors and all that whole load, all the great big 60s shenanigan that's been exhumed. We just did what we did.
And I laughed like I always do, and I cried like I cried for you, and Balloon Man blew up in my hand. He spattered me with tomatoes, hummus, chickpeas and some strips of skin. So I made a ride on 44th and I washed my hands when I got in. And it rained like a slow divorce, and I wish I could ride